Hey guys, Andy here again from Mad Lad Designs. I know it's been a while, but I thought I'd try and squeeze a playthrough in of One Deck Dungeon. It's a small game, you can see I can almost cover it with my hand, but it does pack a great game. Let's take a look at the back. By Asmodee Games. And you are going through a dungeon, 3 floors of a dungeon in order to defeat the boss. But you must go through the 3 floors before you get to the boss. It's a dice rolling, dice placement game. So I'm going to open the box and spin it round and get it the right way. Open the box, let's see what's in. This is not an unboxing, by the way, I'm just going to quickly show you what's in. The instructions, obviously. Then we have a campaign sheets. Each sheet is exactly the same. The idea with this is when you finish a game, there'll be certain things you can tick off because you've done them. Maybe you've defeated so many monsters, or got down so many floors, or got so many experience points. You can tick them off. And then when you start your next game, you will start with extra things. So it will make it easier, especially if you're going through the different bosses, because there's easy bosses, medium bosses and hard bosses. So obviously you need more things to tackle the hard bosses. I've yet to do any campaigns at all. I've never used this, but that's what that is, campaign sheets. Then we have the characters. It comes with 5 characters. And this one is a downloadable one, and I've downloaded it and printed it out. That's free. So, but these are the characters that come in. I'm not going to show you the characters, but that's what you get. You get a reference sheet for when you're going through the dungeon, and then when you find the boss. You have all your dice that you're going to be using. You have your health points and your potions, which is the white ones. Then you have your level up cards for those. All the dungeon cards. This is what you're going to be tackling, what you're going to be going through. And of course I'll show you how these work when we set it up. We have our stairs. So what happens is these dungeon cards will sit on here. When you've gone through all the dungeon cards, you will get to the stairs and then you will drop down a level. Then we have the monsters. Let's go with those. Yeah, sorry, these are the bosses, I should say. Dragon. This is a downloadable print and play one. You don't get that in the game, so that can go there. But you do get the dragon, the hydra, the minotaur, the lich, and the yeti, and they're all at different strengths. It should be, where are we? Yes, if we turn over, it says dropping some of them. I don't know if you'll notice, I'll have to stand up to show you. Get up close. Can you see there's a little dot? This one has 2 dots, and this one has 3. That's the level of difficulty. 1 dot is easy, 2 dots are medium, then 3 dots are hard. So I'm going to be playing with the easy one, the dragon. And then these, when you're in a campaign, these are skills, extra skills you can start with depending on what you've ticked off on your campaign sheet. So I'm going to sort all these out, what we need and what we don't need. I'm going to zoom out a bit. Let's zoom out a bit, there we go. So we don't need that, the campaign sheet, we don't need the basic skills. We don't need the print and play versions of those. We don't need these bosses. We do not need the instructions. And I am going to be playing with the paladin. So we don't need any of the other characters. Just the paladin. So these can all go to one side. We do need the rest. Okay, so let me set this up. The way I set this up is I throw all my dice into there. I throw all my cubes into there. I'll place that out there. I'm going to actually set this up and then we'll come back and I'll show you how it's done. Alright, so I've got everything set up, well almost set up. This is how I have my setup when I'm playing the game. Let's focus in on the paladin and explain what all the bits are around the card. Right, so here we have the paladin, the female paladin. All the heroes in this game are females, and we have various things around the outside. These refer to what dice we're going to be using. So this is combat, and as you can see it's yellow, so we're going to start with 3 yellow dice. I'll grab 3 yellow dice. 3 yellow dice for the 3 combat. Now, is this swiftness? I'm not 100% sure. Just let me check what that is. Oh, agility. That's agility. So it's 1 pink. So we're going to start with 1 pink dice. This is magic. And we're going to start with 3 magic dice, which is blue. And then we have 5 health. Now normally these red cubes that we use are used for damage. So each time you take a damage, you put a cube on. However, I do it the other way around, and I start with 5 of them on there like that, and I just take them off as and when. So as we're playing the game, we can get extra items, extra cards that tuck under here, which gives us more dice. And then moving down, we have the skills. Each hero starts with 2 skills. This one is place a, and we have a funny black symbol here. It's called a heroic die, which is one of these. Now this counts as any colour of these dice, so when you roll this, you could count that as a blue 1 or a yellow 1 or a pink 1. Doesn't matter, it's like a wild dice. So this says place a wild dice here, maximum 2, if you open a door with 4 experience points attached. And I'll show you that as we turn over the dungeon cards. And you may roll them before any encounter. These icons means I can roll it in battle. When I come across a card, I can fight like a monster. This represents a trap card, so I can also use this heroic dice against a trap card. However, I cannot use them against a boss, which is this skull here. This skill down here with this eternal arrow means it's always active, and it says when I lose health, I lose half the health rounded up. You cannot prevent damage otherwise, and this only applies when I'm attacking a monster. So if I get hit by a monster, whatever damage I take, I'm going to half it and round up. However, if I get hit by a trap, I'm going to take all that damage. And you can add skills as you go and beat more dungeon cards. So that is our hero. We have our level 1. We're going to start at level 1. This tells us exactly what we can have when we start. So we can have 1 item, which means we can tuck only 1 card in. We can't have more than 1 card tucked in here to give us more dice or more health. 2 skills. This is besides the 2 skills that we have, so we can have another 2 skills down here. We're going to start with a potion, which is a white die, so we're going to start with a potion. And we don't get any extra heroic die to start off with, and we need to get 7 experience in order to level up to level 2. And as you can see, this says 1 player. The same up here, it says 1 player. If you turn over, 2 players, and on the back side of this card is a 2-player card. The skills and the items are different for the 2-player. So this is what we're going to start off with. Next up we have our boss card. This is the boss we are going to be facing. But first of all, before we do any of that, we are going to be going through the dungeon 1 level at a time. So what happens is, with our turn reference, we're going to cover up the other 2 levels, and we're just going to have the first level. And as we're going through the dungeon, these are going to happen all the time, and I'll explain what those are as we play. As we get further down the dungeon, we move down 1, and these are going to take an effect. And when we get to the third level, all of these are going to take into effect. So, and this is our turn reference, but I'll explain as we play the game. So that was just a quick explanation of the setup of the game. In the next episode we'll start playing and I'll tell you everything properly, what all the things do and what the dungeon cards are and how to play. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you guys later.